Namo Amida Butsu. I wasn't too impressed with my last video. I should have been a little more general, a little less personal. But not everyone's karma is the same. And I don't need to name names on this. But if you look around, you see the negative karma of so many people. You see not only the violence, you see not only people who seem to have no moral compass, but you see what people would term as acts of God, which are acts of karma. Giant trees falling on cars that are going down the road at just the right or wrong time to be hit by a tree. People being maimed at a certain time, people being attacked at a certain time in a certain way. It's all karma. And I wanted to remake this video because the last one I kind of came off as being a little judgmental, and you could tell I had issues with the person I'd mentioned. So I thought I'd make this a little more general. My brother Shaku Gankai on his YouTube channel has said the reason we're in this Saha realm is because we deserve to be here based on karma. Our good karma, our bad karma. And there's a lot of good to be found in this Saha realm, in addition to the bad and the evil that we can find in the Saha realm. But you look at certain people and you wonder, why are these people like this? Why are they serial killers? Why are they child molesters? Why do they almost intentionally seem to get hooked up with people who are going to use and abuse them? Why is it they never seem to learn? That light bulb never seems to go off, and they never seem to want to transcend the situation they're in right now at this moment. Karma. And another way of putting it is bad habits not just accumulated in one lifetime, but in many previous lifetimes. If you've been a dick, if you're just naturally a dick in this lifetime, in this go round in the Saha realm, chances are high that you've enjoyed being a dick in previous lives, many previous lives. I don't know how many or how few. But you found that you enjoyed it. It was comfortable for you. There are people that like to style themselves as provocateurs. It's another word for asshole. Who just enjoy screwing with people. It's fun to them. It's amusing. And I've encountered people like this, and I've encountered people like this close to home. I've encountered people like this on my job, both as a coworker and as an employee. From coworkers and customers, I've shared with you videos where I've been a customer in the line at a checkout counter, and I've had people treat me horribly, as all of us do at some point in time. And more often than not, I'll walk away asking myself, why? This is your job. This is your, talking about the other person, this is your job. Why would you want to be a stupid dick to the customer? Or this is your job. Why would you want to be a stupid dick to your coworker and create hard problems and piss everyone off? Karma. We're very comfortable with what we're comfortable with, and that doesn't necessarily mean that what we're comfortable with is something good, something positive. There were many samurais in the past. There were many so-called warriors in the past. There were many people who really got their rocks off back in the day carrying a sword in one form or another. And they really, really, really liked using that sword. I remember when I was a security guard at a grocery store, this guy comes in all excited. He said, yeah, man, I'm really bored with the security post I'm at. I want to go somewhere where there's some gunplay. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. What the hell? You're supposed to be, and I couldn't understand, you're supposed to be a security guard. You're supposed to be there to observe and report. You're there basically to maintain the peace. Make sure no idiots come in and create a problem. And now it turns out you're the idiot and you're the security guard. You're hoping there's going to be a gunfight where you can actually kill someone. You can take another human life. Why would this and I didn't understand, because at the time I was a very devout Catholic Christian at the time. When I heard that person say this, make that comment, and looking back on it, it's karma. Just the way he described it. You know, I'm bored just sitting here doing my job. I want excitement. I want gunplay. I want a life and death situation where I can mow someone down and have the thrill of killing someone. I could see a person like that in a previous life being someone who eagerly volunteered for the battlefield, whether it was World War I, World War II, as a medieval knight, as a ninja, as a samurai, as a gunfighter in the Old West. We don't know what we were or who we were in a previous life, or how we came about obtaining our warped perceptions of life. And not all our perceptions are warped, but a lot of them are. And we only need to look at the news, which I haven't done. I haven't done in 5 days, guys. I haven't gone online and watched the news in 5 days. And gee, I'm enjoying my time off right now. I'm really enjoying my time off. Just got back from the grocery store, got me some peanut butter and some jelly and some other stuff, and beautiful, perfect, cloudless weather, 63 degrees. Yeah, you know, but that's the thing. If you look at the news, you see hooligans kicking old people off their walkers when they're waiting for a bus or something. You see children being tortured. You see adults being tortured and abused. You hear about rapes and murders. And you ask yourself, I'm not pure, I'm not righteous by any means. I have evil thoughts and intentions. Why would someone get their rocks off doing these horrible things? And there is an answer to that: karma. Now, when I was a Christian, my parents, I'd ask them the same thing, and they would say, only God knows the reason why people do things like this, David. And now I know the answer. It's karma. It's karma. For some people, through countless lifetimes, they've accumulated the habit of finding hurting others to be enjoyable or exciting. The same goes for people who enjoy killing other people. This isn't something that happened just in this lifetime. This is something that has happened through many lifetimes. Whether, and they didn't necessarily have to be a ninja or a samurai or a warrior on a battlefield or an archer. They could have just been a serial killer in a previous life. They could have been a child molester in a previous life. They could have been a child abuser in a previous life, thousands or hundreds of thousands of years ago. And for whatever reason, they found that enjoyable. The one thing I find disconcerting about the current times I'm living in this Saha realm, is that people, due to their ignorance accumulated through previous lifetimes, seem to think there's no consequence for what they do in the present. And that's why you get videos of old people getting kicked off their walk, kicked in the heads off their walker, murdered. You hear of children being tortured. You hear horrible, horrible things. There's a sense of nihilism where people just naturally assume you eat, you drink, you shit, you die, and then the worms eat your corpse. I had an atheist friend tell me that. And though I don't believe in God with a capital G, I do believe in the existence of beings known as gods. I certainly know that there's more to life than just eat, drink, shit, and die. There's karma. There's cause and effect. And I've talked about, in this country, the collective karma, we, especially where I live here in the United States, a lot of that is coming home to roost. And I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I don't vote, I am not political at all. I am totally disillusioned with politics. So I'm not a right-winger, I'm not a left-winger, I'm not a moderate. I'm disgusted with American politics, and I think we have an old, ancient, broken system that's over 200 years old that needs to be replaced. Replaced with what? I don't know. I sincerely doubt Marxism or communism would do it. I don't know. I don't have any answers in that respect, but I do look at what the turmoil and the chaos, particularly in our government here in the United States, as a result of the chaos and turmoil the United States government has collectively caused to people and regimes in other countries. If you think about it, the pain we're going through here as Americans in the United States we have brought about that same sense of confusion, of limbo madness to other countries by trying to usurp their governments, usurp their leaders, prop up dictators, prop up banana republics. And now we're seeing a lot of this happening here. Karma. It's karma. The racial issues that are going on here in the United States. Karma. And when one race attacks another, they feel like they're becoming the victor. And all you're doing is repeating the victimhood and the victimization given to you in a previous lifetime. What we do to others boomerangs back onto us. Cause and effect. Karma. Those who rape someone, chances are very high that in a next life they will be on the receiving end of that rape. And chances are the person raping them could be the person they raped in a previous life. Those who are murdered in this life, chances are very high that the murderer is the person they murdered in a previous life. Could have been 1,000 years ago. Could have been 1,000,000 years ago. Who knows? I just know karma is real. I know cause and effect is inevitable, and you can't escape it. We see this with presidents. We see this with narcissists. We see this with people who were worshipped in the media, celebrities, writers, comedians, making outrageous amounts of money. It takes very little for some of these people to, in their wealth, to fall to the level of common trailer trash, to get into drunken brawls, to become addicted to drugs. And then these multimillionaires living in houses 5 times the size of most shopping malls. You look at what before, when they were famous at the height of their career, and then after, you look at them in the present, they look like any man or woman you'd find in a homeless shelter. Karma and ego. The spiritual path is not an easy choice to make. The spiritual path is can be a very vexing, difficult, painful road to take. That's why in Pure Land Buddhism, there's the image of the white path. You'll see it quite a lot in Pure Land Buddhist art. And the image of the white path is, you have Joe Every Guy, and in most depictions he's got like some pack on his back, which I think for me represents the weight that all of us have to carry through this life. And he's walking down this narrow path of white sand. And I mean, it's like narrow. And on either side of him, on one side is raging waves lapping the shore of this little path. And on the other side is a lake of fire also lapping that little tiny white path. And you see why the guy's on the path by looking at the picture. Behind him are robbers, murderers, wild, vicious wild animals, tigers, monsters, demons. And before him is Amitabha Buddha. And close to Amitabha Buddha is Shakyamuni going, continue, continue, keep going, follow the path, follow the white path, keep going. It's not a blissful picture at all. It's a picture most of us living in the Saha realm in modern times can truly relate to. Sometimes barely hanging on. Feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world while balancing on this tightrope. Trying to maintain your finances, your relationships, your happiness, while trying to balance on this tightrope. And it's like, Namo Amirabu, Namo Amirabu, Namo Amirabu, Namo Amirabu, Namo Amirabu. Help me, Amida Buddha. Guide me, Amida Buddha. Strengthen me, Amida Buddha. This is a beautiful image for the Saha realm we live in. It is a great description of the working of karma in the Saha realm we live in at the present time. All of us, I think, in one way or another, walk that tiny path of white sand. We struggle not to drift off into the waves that will drag us under and drown us. We try not to fall into the lake of fire that would consume us with our addictions, our lusts, our rage, our hate, our anger, our unforgiveness. And so, as best we can in this lifetime, we plod forward, looking to Amitabha, the Buddha of infinite light and life, with our always diverted focus. And I think that's why we have Shakyamuni representing all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, lending their support, lending their encouragement, gently, lovingly guiding us to focus, reestablishing our focus on Amida Buddha, who is always before us. So be grateful. Be grateful that Amida has drawn you to him. Be grateful that you have that desire in your heart to go to the Pure Land. Be grateful that you have taken the first steps on that path between the lake of fire and the lake of drowning water as best you can, because that's all you can do, is the best you can. But it's not your walking the path that's going to get you to Amida. It's your faith. And that faith comes from Amida himself. And I want all of you watching this to realize this. My merits amount to nothing. My merits are based on faulty karma. My merits can only create shaky ground. Only my faith in Amitabha Buddha can bring me to the Pure Land. Only reciting his name while entrusting myself and my karmic destiny to him and wishing to be born in his land of peace and bliss, the Pure Land. And that Nembutsu is not a practice that comes from me. That is something placed in my heart, in my mouth, on my lips by Amitabha himself. I know this because I have that knowing that is Shinjin. And Amida wants that for you. Namo Amida Butsu.